Hey guys, it's Ty and welcome back to my channel. So today I'm going to be reviewing two books and I decided to highlight both of these books because I really enjoyed them. One of them I rated 4 stars, the other one I gave 5 stars to, and I believe that is my first 5-star rating that I have given out so far this year, so that's exciting. And I did receive both of these books from NetGalley, so thank you to NetGalley and the publisher for allowing me to read these books early, but they are already published. They are out there for you to purchase if you think either of these books sounds good to you. So we will go ahead and get started. So the first book that I want to talk about is Brooklyn by the author Tracy Brown. I would consider this a adult contemporary fiction, but in this book we are following our main character, Brooklyn, and she comes from a family where her father is a pastor, her mother is a first lady, so there's a lot that Brooklyn and her siblings have to live up to. They have to be in the public eye. This family is perceived as perfect. The children are perfect. The parents can do no wrong, but we quickly learn within a couple of pages that there's a lot going on in this family. There's a lot of secrets. This pastor is not perfect. The first lady is not perfect, and for sure, these children, with the exception of one, are not perfect. So we follow Brooklyn, who's this really ambitious girl. She likes the glitz and the glam. Basically, she likes everything that her parents don't want her to like. She gets involved with this older gentleman. So I think she's like 17, not quite 18 when the book starts, and he's like 24. And so she gets involved with him. She gets wrapped up in his lifestyle. He is a drug dealer, and so he just opens her eyes to a whole new world and a whole new world of making money. There is a situation that takes place between her parents, herself, and her older brother, which causes her to be put out of the house, and now she has to basically survive on the streets of New York. She ends up finding and living with these group of people she used to quote unquote work for when she was dealing with the other guy, and so they show her a life of fast money, drugs, and a great lifestyle, and we just really watch Brooklyn as she is trying to navigate this new lifestyle that she is getting accustomed to and trying to, I guess, repair her relationship with her family, because when she was put out, she was not put out on good terms, obviously. So she is trying to figure out what to do with her family, and a lot of secrets and things are revealed. This is the one that I gave 5 stars to. I could not put this down. I probably read it in about 2 days because I was just so engrossed into the story. In this story, while I was reading it, I did mention this when I was posting about it on my Instagram, that it really reminded me of those like old school 90s books that we used to like sneak and read because we were too young to be reading them. So if you guys remember the book The Coldest Winter Ever by Sister Soldier or Fly Girl by Omar Tyree, if those were the type of books that you were reading back in the day, then I think you would enjoy this book. So I really liked the character of Brooklyn, only because you don't really know if you're supposed to be rooting for her, if you're supposed to dislike her. Your feelings about her will change continuously throughout the story, because a lot of the things that she does, a lot of her actions don't really make sense, and she comes off as really like selfish and conceited, and you just really don't know how to feel about her. Also, with the members of her family, like her father, her mother, especially, like by the beginning of the story, you will have some strong feelings about Brooklyn's mother. And I just like how this family is involved in the church, and they're, you know, super religious, but there are so many secrets, and y'all know, I don't have to keep saying this, but y'all know I love me some mess, and mess is what we got in this story. It's super fast paced. There's always something happening to Brooklyn, always some situation she finds herself in, and we're following her from the time she's like 17, 18 till she's in like her mid-20s. So a lot of time passes in this story, but a lot happens in that time too. And I feel like from the moment you pick this up, you will be engrossed in the story. Now, after I rated it 5 stars, I started to see quite a few people say they did not like this book. I didn't even look into why they didn't, because I didn't want it to bring down my joy of how much I enjoyed this. Is it the perfect story? No. Do I think it's going to be a story for everyone? No. But if it sounds like something that you would be interested in, I would suggest that you pick it up and try it out. There are some content warnings that you should look into before picking this up. I don't even want to say what those content warnings are, because to me, a couple of them are spoilery. So I would suggest you go out and look up those content warnings yourself. But give this one a try, especially if this is one that you are interested in. So the other book that I wanted to talk about is This Could Be Us by Kennedy Ryan, a adult romance. And this is book 2 in the Skyland series, I believe is what it's called. And so if you guys remember, not last year, but the year before last, the first book in that series came out, and it was called Before I Let Go, which everybody seemed to really enjoy. I gave that book 4 stars, and I also gave this one 4 stars. So in this book, we are following another friend. So there are 3 primary friends that we are following. So the first book, Before I Let Go, was following Yasmin. This book, we are going to be following Soledad, and then in the final book, we're following the friend Hendrix. So in this book, we are following our main character, Soledad, and she is in a marriage with this man, Edward. She's not really happy. There's some speculation of some infidelity, and so they're kind of in a rough patch in their marriage, and they have been for quite a while. There's a situation that happens to Edward that causes them to get divorced. And due to this divorce, she now is responsible for making money for herself and her family. She has 3 daughters that she wasn't responsible for before. She depended on Edward. She was a stay-at-home mom. And so now, like, the roles have reversed. So she is trying to figure out how she's going to provide for herself and her daughters. And during that time, she begins to become attracted to this man by the name of Judah Cross. Judah Cross is possibly a huge reason for the divorce between Soledad and her now ex-husband, Edward. And so they are trying to figure out their feelings for each other, especially because Soledad is trying to take this time to focus on herself, focus on her daughters, and try to make a living, while Judah is figuring out his feelings for Soledad. He is also trying to be a good father to his 2 twin sons who are autistic. So we are just watching Soledad and Judah fall in love over the course of this story, and I really enjoyed it. Just like that first book, I really enjoyed this one. I loved the character of Soledad and watching her trying to rebuild her life and doing whatever it is necessary to take care of herself and her daughters, and how she puts her daughters first. I loved her friends in this story. So Yasmin and Hendrix, especially Hendrix, because she is hilarious, and I just love how her friends really have her back and are really helping hold down this whole situation. I liked Judah because he was so patient, so caring of Soledad and her situation, and allowing her the time to like really find herself and not like hound her with wanting to jump into a relationship quickly. And I also liked watching him be a father because, like I mentioned, his sons are autistic. They're on different sides of the spectrum. And so there is a lot of care between him and his ex-wife that has to be put in to taking care of their boys. And I really like that. And I really just like watching them fall in love over the story. It is a slow burn romance. There is attraction right away, but it takes some time for them to really build on their relationship, and she has to build trust within Judah because, like I said, he may have been the cause of her divorce, and then one of her daughters is not really feeling Judah like that, so she has to kind of like figure that out. So I just really enjoyed this overall story. My only complaint, and the only thing that keeps me from giving this a 5-star, and it's the same complaint that I had with Before I Let Go, and I think I'm the only one that feels this way, is that sometimes I think everything is just too perfect. Everyone is just okay with whatever situation they're put in. There's no like pushback. And I just don't think a lot of the times the situations that some of these characters are put in, normal people wouldn't react that way, or they would have like a bigger reaction. And the only way that I can put that is I just think some of the things that just happen, some of the resolutions, they're just too perfect. And I just don't want it to be that way. But like I said, I think I'm the only one that feels that way. So I haven't really heard anyone else have any complaints like that. Besides that, I just really enjoyed it. I really enjoy the romance in these books. I really enjoy like the hot, steamy moments. And I'm really excited for book 3 in the series because that is going to be following Hendrix. Out of that friend group, that is probably my favorite character. So I'm really looking forward to reading book 3 in this series. So again, if this sounds good to you, I would go ahead and pick it up. I don't believe that you have to read them in order. So if the first book, Before I Let Go, did not sound interesting to you, but this one does, I feel like you can go ahead and pick it up. The only thing is that they just mention characters from the first one, but I don't feel like you're gonna miss anything, any details or anything. So feel free to pick them up out of order, but I would highly recommend this one. So that is all that I have for you guys. If you have read these, please let me know down in the comments, or if you plan on picking them up, please let me know. And I will see you guys next time. Bye.